Okay. I know you've read or heard about that game, movie, or comic, blah, blah, but you haven't heard it from us. So chill, relax, let us talk all about it before you log off.
The thirst is absolutely real, everybody. I'm Sir Aaron Carter, and you are listening to Before You Log Off. And I'm here with internationally known, slurring my whole words here. Sorry, it is 170 degrees in my room right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You sure you're not drinking?
Might be a little bit. Might be a little bit tipsy. Might have taken a couple of
sauce.
Might have. First of all, it's sugar-free drinks, if anything. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
Fermented kombucha is what you're drinking, huh?
That's disgusting.
That's what I drink on the regular.
Ugh. Why?
I love it.
Why?
It tastes great.
So gross.
It tastes so good.
I'll tell my one and only kombucha story right after I introduce you to.
I'll tell mine too.
The internationally known Stephen Gutierrez is here.
Hello, everybody. Kombucha is disgusting.
It's very disgusting. And apparently tough enough to drink kombucha over there is Rachel. Ugh.
I love kombucha. It's great.
No, it's
because
not.
Your insides are already dead and decaying. That's why.
Damn.
That's why this fermentation is nerdy.
Steven knows this story because Steven was there that night. We were at the World Market. And
oh shit! I did remember this.
It was me. No. It was me, Steven, and Jerry. We were just at the World Market, just I guess buying random stuff. I don't remember what we were doing there.
I was buying Japanese sodas because they're the fucking best.
Well, those are very good. Those are very good.
Best, yeah.
So Jerry is like, kombucha. Let's give that an old try. So he grabs it off the shelf. We walk up to one of the coolest checkout guys, you could ever have at a checkout counter. And he simply pays for it and opens it right there on the spot, takes one sip, and has the look of despair on his face. Like, I've made a mistake. I've made the biggest mistake of all. But the teller dude was cool. He was like, you don't want that, do you? And he's like, no. He knew. He refunded him his money right there on the spot. He was like, nah, I don't want this.
Oh my God.
This is gross.
Because it is gross, Rachel. It is the most disgusting thing on the planet. I don't know why.
If I could buy a case of it, I would.
Oh my God. So here's my kombucha story. My dad used to get like the mushrooms or whatever that kombucha comes from, whatever. And he used to actually ferment them himself. He would stick them in like these green bowls and let them ferment in the refrigerator for like fucking long ass time. And my dumbass, because he ended up putting them in like a jug after like it was finished. So my dumbass, thirsty as hell, thought it was like tea or something. And so I poured myself a glass and took a big ass gulp. Ugh. Instantly regretted it like Jerry. Fucking started throwing up, spitting that stuff out.
Throwing up? What a drama queen.
It was so disgusting. I don't even know how old I was. I think I was like 10 or something.
Okay, I can understand that because your taste buds as a child hasn't fully developed and matured to enjoy kombucha.
No. Don't give me that shit. You know how I know kombucha is disgusting? It's because now they're adding flavors and shit to it. Because the regular kombucha is fucking worst. It's like drinking liquid death.
I don't know. I never tried non-flavored kombucha, but I really like it. I think it's really good. Like rose hibiscus kombucha, things like that. Yeah.
You drink the sweat of an old man's balls.
That's like, who decided, let's make this rotten and then drink it?
I mean, that's what you do with beer, right? You have it ferment a whole bunch.
And it's disgusting, too.
So it's you know what? It starts to ferment and you get that kind of alcohol-y taste without, all the alcohol, so you can be an alcoholic without being an alcoholic, right?
I'm all right. Why? That's dumb. That's dumb. People
But I like the taste.
Alcohol.
It's like drinking decaf coffee. I love the taste of coffee, but I can't drink it.
People drink alcohol to get a buzz feeling or probably get just full out drunk, right?
to take
yes. I enjoyed the taste of alcohol. Like I don't always drink it.
Who's going into it and being like, you know what? I want the alcohol-free beer. I just want the taste of beer. That's disgusting. That's like you know what? I just want the taste of feet. That's what I want in my mouth right now.
You know what? There are feet guys out there. They might want a gamer girl feet water.
There's three guys out there that are just that just
will
want
pay
the taste
$500
of feet in their mouth.
jar.
Wiki feet is a thing,
and that's disgusting.
How would you know, Stephen? How would you know?
I was listening to a podcast, and no, it was a video, and one of the girls lifted up her foot on stream for like telling a story, and they were like, "Nope, don't do that. You're gonna end up on Wiki feet." And that's how I found out that was an actual thing.
So it's people walk on their feet. All right, everybody. Let's just get that right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lowest part of your body. Okay, like you can't get any further below the feet. All right, that's just it. Why do you want that? Stop it.
You know what? No king shame here. We don't king shame at BYLO.
Don't put it in your mouth. All right. Don't put somebody's walking on this planet Earth feet in your mouth. That's how we get COVID-21. That's how we get that next pandemic, and we don't want that here, everybody.
Man.
So anyway,
I feel roasted. Okay.
I mean, if you're out there sucking feet, you know, how about you don't? How
about you suck feet responsibly? That's what we'll go with.
Yeah, maybe take a bath first. Maybe take a bath first.
Be responsible with it.
Well, you know next time we have a get together, I'm bringing all the kombucha and I'm drinking it, and then I'll eat all the mayonnaise as well, just to gross you guys out.
You just want me to vomit on you. That's what you want.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That is gross. That's the worst
Factor edition. Let's go.
What do we got going on? Let's get it off the chest right off the bat, because Loki is almost over. We have one more episode left. The last episode, Into the Mystery Into the Science. I can't remember the name of the actual name of the
Journey into Mystery.
Thank you. Journey into Mystery just happened. We got to see all the other Lokis. We're going full spoiler, by the by, if you're not caught up. I mean, it's been a week almost.
Another 20-30 minutes or something, because we like to rant.
So this episode is definitely, it just felt like it was more build up to something, in my opinion. But we got some good Easter eggs, at least, out of this whole episode. The frog Throg, or whatever his name is.
One of my favorites. Yeah.
We got an Easter egg of him, so a teaser to show, to go later. We got classic Loki. We got kid Loki fully.
Classic Loki.
We got fan favorite Gator Loki.
Don't forget the Thanos helicopter.
We got Thanos copter in there. The Sphinx in the background. If you look at it there, it actually had its nose still. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I was going to show you, Rachel, yesterday when I was texting, when I was like, there's a video I want you to see. And it was like a 30-minute video, shows all the Easter eggs that you can find in the actual thing. And there's a ton of them.
So my computer's being fixed finally, so now I can actually stream. Yay. But I messaged you when it was done. I was like, you want to hop on Discord? You're like, nah, I'm cleaning my bathroom.
I was cleaning the bathroom by then. I got into the cleaning mode. And once I get into a cleaning mode, it's headphones on, scrubs down. That's what it is.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I thought you were going to say pants down.
Also that. I mean, it's my bathroom. Yeah.
Too much info, my dude.
Hold on. Do you clean with clothes on? Your bathroom?
Yes.
What?
I don't clean naked.
That's what I'm doing.
I feel sorry for whoever you live with.
There's water everywhere. Why am I getting my clothes dirty?
Wait, did you? The one cameo you didn't mention was President Loki.
Yeah, we got President Loki. I never got to read that storyline, so I'm familiar with it. I heard
it's really good, and everyone seems to be super disappointed that we only got 2 minutes of him at most.
Not even 2 minutes. Yeah. We got 30 seconds, and that was about it. And then he's it's his hand bitten off, and he's off the screen. So, sorry everybody that you didn't get a full blown, storyline with Loki, which I feel like is kind of tease. Like, you showed it in the trailer. You got people hyped. Like, oh, we're getting the storyline for the President Loki. Or we're going to hear about it. No, it's a cameo.
No.
It's a big cameo.
Honestly, I thought that was just him at the TVA. That was a little roughed up because he had a little rip in his...
That's what I thought too, until people pointed out the vote pit and everything that he had when the episode did come out. And I was like, oh, I guess that is him, because you know me, I don't read a lot of Marvel comics, so I have to do a lot of research before our podcast to actually like know what I'm talking about. But yeah, everyone seems super disappointed in that. But know what I'm not disappointed in? Classic Loki. Absolutely my favorite. He completely stole the show. I love Robert E. Grant. He's amazing.
He was good. He was good. Why'd he steal the show for you?
Good. No, okay, so like the thing about it is like we've always wanted like a lot of people who are big fans of Loki, they want the personal growth for him, and you finally get that at the end of like Endgame or Ragnarok, and you see him in Endgame, and he instantly dies. So you don't really get it like, cool, we finally got growth for him. He dies, and then we get this Loki show, and we're like, cool, we're getting kind of growth for him, and then the only reason why he actually grows and he's like, you know what, I want to be a better person, is because he's in love with somebody. It doesn't feel like genuine, like personal growth. I saw that face.
Well, because I was gonna say,
I don't agree with that at all.
I was gonna say I partially agree with it, but could you say it's still personal growth since it's basically himself that he's growing for? I'm just saying.
He's growing for somebody else, and I don't know. I just want like
it's Loki.
No, it's Sylvie. Oh, okay. She's different.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's different.
She's different. Like you guys said in the last podcast, you're like, I don't see them like as the same. She's way different than him. So you can't go double back and be like, they're the same person.
But DNA wise, they're the same.
Not because Loki can reconfigure his entire genetic code and like basically be gender fluid.
Can't they both?
Huh?
Can't they both then?
Yeah, but then they don't have the same genetic code. They don't have the same DNA.
So that means that there's a possibility that they could have the same DNA, though.
They can, but they can change it up too. So anyways, same way. With classic Loki, I feel like we actually got the genuine growth where he wanted to be a better person and sacrifice himself for the greater good and sacrifice himself for other people. And it was like really cool to see. And I don't know when he like stepped in and he made that giant illusion of Asgard. I was blown away. I got emotional. I was like, oh, this is so good.
So you feel that Loki's character was leading towards sacrificing himself?
No, just I wanted him to like grow to be a better person and not just be like, hey, I'm going to be a villain and just stick with my trauma and just try to do like all these shitty things to get attention because he's the neglected child. I wanted him to actually turn and be good and then maybe do like, actually mischievous things, because so far in the MCU, he hasn't really done anything mischievous for being the god of mischief. Mm-hmm. He's just been a villain. So I don't know. I kind of like him being like a good guy, not like necessarily a good guy, but not like a full blown villain. I like him just kind of like causing pranks here and there.
Okay. Steven, what you think about the episode?
So I thought the overall episode was really good. Like, of course, anytime you do nods to the comic books or little things like that, always a win in my book. I love little moments like that, and then discovering them from other people that have either found them or because like when the frog in the jar thing happened, like I swear nobody was talking about it. They were talking about other stuff, and I was like, Throg was like my favorite thing in that whole thing because they acknowledged it, and I was afraid they weren't going to do that, even though they have alligator Loki. But I thought it was good. I thought the whole Sylvie interaction with the TVA was going to go different, but it makes sense, like how they did it, and I appreciate it. But I like throughout the whole series, I felt like since that beginning when Loki saw how main timeline Loki's life went and how he changed at the end and how he kind of got the crash course, the rest of the show was him building to that mode, like getting there faster, you know what I mean, instead of taking the long route. And so like when you say that like he only changed because he met this girl, I think that's wrong. Like I feel like she was a big catalyst in a way, or and like maybe I'm just a sucker for love, and I can like to me like okay, I get that, I get that whole like you can change for that. I understand it's a trope, but I didn't think it was bad. I think she's the strongest Loki. Like I honestly do, because
classic Loki was the strongest Loki. Did you see that Asgard illusion?
Strongest. Yeah, but see, you're thinking like with like the magic illusions and stuff.
Nah, just magic overall.
I'm thinking like her will, like all those other Lokis fall for the same things. They all basically they're all losers. She's the only one doing things totally different that like flip the whole thing upside down, which to me makes her stronger, because like it took this variant Loki to like realize like kind of his heirs because of her.
Yeah.
Like so he follows her and she's the strongest. Obviously, she was the only one that could have got past I forgot what that dragon thingy.
I don't know, something like that.
That shadow smog monster. Like I don't know, she was the only one that thought about doing it a different way.
Yeah.
And to me that like
I wouldn't say she's the strongest. I would just say she's the smartest with the strongest like willpower, but not like the most powerful. But
she, I think the reason she's strong though is because she was able to convince basically a personality that's constantly doing the same stuff.
But that's because they fell in love with each other. But like to backtrack to like why you think like, oh, he started turning good like before he met Sylvie. I don't really feel like that's true, because like at first, like when he was helping them, he was just kind of like, he felt defeated. He was like, okay, well, I died and everything I did was pointless. Let me just try to do something. I'm just going to help them. And then he even tries like fuck them over, like during the Red Fair, when they go to the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, and well, that's just Loki.
Yeah, but like he's not being good. He's just being the same. He's doing the same stuff, just trying to get like a little recognition, a little bit of attention by trying to show off how smart he is. But other than that, he's not really changing. He's doing the same shit. And before he realized Sylvie was like actually good and like that the TVA was wrong, he betrays the TVA. So what he thought he was doing good, he was actually betrayed them again, like he's always done. So he didn't actually break his cycle of trauma where he tricks people. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be on your side. It's like, I'm gonna betray you. He didn't actually do it until he fell in love with her, and he's like, oh, know what? I'm going to stay loyal to you.
I don't feel like he betrayed the TVA.
He did at first. He betrayed Mobius by just like, he's like, know what? I'm just going to go with Sylvie.
I think he was in a way, he was already kind of like intrigued on how this Loki was able to basically, what's the word? Get over on the TVA for who knows how long. You know what I mean? Like she's been getting over on these guys and more outsmarting them, when he just like everything he's tried that's in his classic book has failed. So
yeah, exactly. So he was following her for his own benefit when originally he agreed to help the TVA. So he wasn't doing it to like be like, hey, I'm going to side with Sylvie and so I could help the TVA later. That wasn't it. He was doing it to help himself. But it wasn't any greater purpose.
I feel like he was intrigued by her ability, and he wanted to see.
That's why he was in love.
Why they considered her more, I guess, supreme. I guess more powerful than so. Yeah, no, there was probably that.
He wasn't being a better person though.
Because Loki's a survivor.
Yeah, but he wasn't being a better person. He wasn't bettering himself until he met Sylvie. I thought that's why we were arguing. No, I'm
not arguing that. No, it's a journey.
I'm confused. I don't know why I'm arguing then.
Yeah, he's making a journey throughout each episode. You see him like his personality is slowly getting broken down and like rewritten. And so here's my theory though on like what's going to happen at the end.
Okay.
So you know how classic Loki was telling him that he made an illusion that was so powerful that even Thanos believed that he killed him.
Yeah.
So you teach this variant Loki that. I think at the end of this show, that variant Loki is going to get put back in his spot. So where the main timeline continues, right? As we know it. But he's going to have the knowledge of being like, of that other Loki told him, like, you can do this. It's in your ability set. And I
think they're all capable of like the same power if they like put their mind to it.
Yeah.
But
I think he's going to use that ability to swap places with an illusion, so the illusion dies, and that's how you get him back in the main timeline.
Yeah, I just, from like our original point when we were like arguing, I just don't feel like he was bettering himself as a person until he met Sylvie and fell for her.
Yeah, but he didn't fall for her until like episode 4.
Yeah, I know.
Until they started talking on the train or whatever.
Yeah,
and then no, I wouldn't say the train. I'd say he probably felt for her.
Well, Aaron,
like,
what do you think? I feel like we're kind of going in circles right now. What do you think? We need a third person.
What's the question?
My point, our argument started from like...
I'm not even arguing.
Well, I mean, we're debating.
Well, what's the question that both of you two are discussing? Then I can come with an answer of my own.
Mine was he wasn't actually bettering himself like to be a better person until he met Sylvie and got to know her.
Okay, and Steven, what's yours?
No.
I'm not arguing what she's talking about.
What's your? I need to know what your.
She started.
Hold on. You told me already what you're arguing or you're debating. Now I want to know what Steven is debating, so that way I can answer both. Steven, what was your point of view? I just want to know what's your point of view.
Okay.
What is your point of view? I was just
saying that up until that point, like where he does meet Sylvie, it's when he starts to like, because it's Survivor Loki for the 2 episodes. He meets her, and then from episode 3, he's starting to morph into the Loki that we know, where there's some good in him. I think he's still. I feel like we're talking about the same thing, Rachel. I don't understand.
So this is
the reason why I thought we were debating is hang on. The reason why I thought we were debating is because you said I was wrong. You're like, I don't feel like that. I feel like he was turning good before he met Sylvie, and that's what I thought you said. So that's why. But if we're like the same thing, it doesn't matter.
Oh no! I mean, I just took it like he's been on this journey the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the self-discovery. Trying to rely on old tactics that don't work, finds out that somebody doesn't use him. Basically, another version of himself is using different tactics that are working. I feel like he kind of wanted to find out what that was. I mean, to see how he can either be better than this other one. So yeah, there was probably some ill intent originally, but then it kind of it faded. It faded quick. I don't think it was something that lingered. Like I don't think he's gonna betray her at the end.
I don't think he is either.
Yeah, it's just I think throughout the whole series, there's just been growth, whether it's minimal or these last couple episodes, it's been bigger because you have the catalyst of love.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want the catalyst of love. That's the thing. I just want him to be good. That's all.
Well,
it's just too Disney for me. I guess that's it. Because like I grew up with like all those Disney movies where like, oh, it's your true love, everything, and that's why I really like the newer Disney movies like Luca, Raya the Last Dragon, Moana. They're all just like a self-discovery journey, something like a hero and all that stuff, but it doesn't have like the romance in it. And I just kind of like that break.
Yeah, those are all good films too. I don't know. Like Loki didn't seem like a character that could fall in love. You know what I mean? Like he didn't. They didn't seem like that type of character.
That's because he's a narcissist. That's why he only could fall in love with himself.
Yeah,
but it's not him. Remember, it's not him. It's somebody entirely different.
I said it's him. They're the same person.
No, you said DNA. They were all different, right?
Yeah, because that's what you guys were saying last time too, and I was like, okay.
So where do you land? is that a Loki or is that not a Loki? So we can be plain and clear here then.
I feel like it's a Loki, but Loki is gender fluid, so if he wanted to, or they wanted to, they can change their genetic like DNA. At least in the comics they can, that version of Loki. The MCU, I'm not so sure, especially since like they're like all like super confused. They're like, wait, there's a female Loki? I've never seen that before, when Loki himself can like change between male and female on like whim.
Or a horse.
Or a horse. Or a wolf.
I think whatever form Loki comes in, it's still Loki.
Exactly.
And he's always coming.
So it's just
disgusting.
Gonna be like it's Loki. So if it's a shoe, it's a Loki. So I'm on the side of she's just Loki. Like she can call her, and I understand why she would call herself something else, because she was kidnapped at a very young age. Everybody else got to age out, except for Kid Loki. But
even then he was a little bit older. Like
he's still older.
Yeah, he's like a teenager. She was a child,
So I could see her being like, no, I never got to live that quote unquote Loki life. So I'm somebody else. You know, I came up with this new name type of thing. Also, I think they were just afraid to do Enchantress. So they did that story.
They just kind of combined the two.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm okay with it, I guess. It's just a different variation is all.
So it's the last episode. The big prediction is at the end of this episode, they open up a portal. Basically, they get past the giant monster Goliath, which is literally, I mean, we'll bring it up with predictions because Goliath was definitely important to the comic books and who it could be teasing as well. But they open up a portal and they see a castle in this void. And the big question on everybody's mind in the chat, online, everywhere is, who is that person in that castle? So your predictions, Rachel.
Oh, I don't know a lot about Marvel Comics outside of X-Men, but I was watching a lot of TikToks and I sent you guys a lot. And I know a lot of people are speculating it's King, which would make sense because Goliath. And then even what's her face? Is her name Rowena?
I know what you're talking about, the TVA lady, the main. I can't remember her name.
They have a romance in the comics and everything. You guys know about that storyline, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I read about that and I thought that was kind of funny. Where he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna let her stay dead. I'm gonna go fight the Avengers," and then they bring her back to life anyways. And they're like, they told her what he did, and she gets super pissed, and it's like all hell breaks loose. I thought that was funny, but I don't think it's going to be King because there's only one episode left. It'd be kind of hard to introduce that type of character in only one episode. And the fact that they're going to have him in Ant-Man, I just don't think it's him.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure who it is, but I did like that one theory I sent you where that house is actually the House of Idea. And it's like those two, like almost like, are they like eternal beings? It's like, they're called like basically then and now. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. I'm not familiar with those two characters. So when I saw them, I didn't even get to go look it up though. But yeah, I seen what I saw it on that video. The two kids or whatever they look like.
Yeah, and they compared them to I think his name is like Shang-Mu. He was like the owl god in that library in the Avatar, where he was like the keeper of all knowledge. And so when you go to that library, you give them a gift, and then they give you whatever knowledge or whatever you want as like in return. And in the trailer, you see Sylvie, like she pulls out her blade and there's a whole bunch of bookshelves, like a library behind her. So it might be that place, but they might do a different character besides then and now.
For people that don't really know who those characters are in the comic book, they're a pair of brother and sister, then being the male and now being the female. They both look like, I don't know, cosmic space children, basically.
They do, yeah.
They dwell in the House of Ideas while they're personified. When then personified the past, now personified the present. Two siblings routinely sought out heroes to strike deals with, heading the desires of their hearts and have more time to exploit through reasons and varied from person to person. So they're relatively new characters in it. 2019 is when their first appearance came in.
Wow, they're really new then.
So I don't know if they'll go there just yet. But I have another reason why I would think they wouldn't before, and I'll get into whenever it gets to my turn though. So I'll wait. Are these what?
I was gonna say, Steven, your turn.
Are these kids like related to eternity and infinity?
No. They're their own separate character. Oh no, yeah, Father is eternity. That's right. Yeah. So their father is eternity, correct.
So they're high up there too in the old power.
As far as I know, because like I said, they're 2019 and there's not a lot they've ever been in. They've only apparently been in 2 comic books. That's it. Loki Volume 3 Part 2 and Loki Volume 3 Part 3. That's about it.
Okay, because like these beings would have to be strong enough to kill the living tribunal, right?
They wouldn't be strong enough, no.
Because you saw the tribunal's quote unquote head in the background, right?
Saw a statue, yes.
That's okay. So I agree with you. I think it is a statue, but I saw rumors from some of the same people, Rachel, saying that was the tribunal's head. And I was like, I don't know about that one. That's if that dude's right below Mr. One Above All, I don't see 2 children beating this guy.
Yeah, so, you never know.
Who do you think's in the house?
It's probably that theory of the guy, the He Who Remains, or what?
Yeah, that's right.
The last living.
He Who Remains.
You know what? It's probably Mobius. I'm gonna just throw out random, because this whole thing is just like it's just been so unpredictable to me that it would make sense that it's somebody that they know, and it's just an old man Mobius that's lived for eons or whatever. I don't know how this time works. I mean,
it makes sense since he was able to escape with a car and everything, and then he was just kind of chill when they like went back there. He's like, okay.
And he collects Loki's because Loki was his friend.
It was his
which was growth, Rachel. He made friends with an enemy.
Yeah.
And Mobius are bros now.
After he fell in love with Sylvie.
Yeah, love can do that to a person. Changes people, makes them weak. Sometimes strong.
Not weak.
So I'm on the bandwagon of it's He Who Remains.
Miss Minutes?
No. So, I mean, it's the basic storyline that's already in there of, you know, he's the one that actually created the timekeepers because he was from a universe that he was trying to or from a timeline that he's trying to fix the mistakes that happened in his timeline with our timeline. So he creates the timekeepers to make this sacred timeline because he doesn't want the same mistakes happening over, essentially getting rid of free will. So I'm on that. And this is why I think, because I feel like, and like, trust me, I would love to see the Living Tribunal. I would love to see Eternity. I would love to see Death. I would love to see Master Order and Lord Chaos. I would love to see any of the cosmic entities in Marvel come to fruition on the screen. So let me start off with that. That is what I want. I feel like Marvel, the MCU, keeps taking this stupid Batman, what's his name, Chris Nolan, approach to it, where they're trying to ground it so much in something that we, the viewers, can wrap our head around. That's normal, quote unquote, or down to ground, to realistic, like turning the timekeepers into robots, or not going the full blown Mephisto route with WandaVision. Or something like that. Like they're not going, and like I said last episode, Steve and I were talking about this. Even when it comes to like characters like Dormammu, his stuff is Dormammu in Doctor Strange. Remember at the end of the Doctor Strange, the big head.
Oh, it's been forever since I seen that. Okay,
so even at the end of, even with that character, that is probably the closest you can get to something that's being I don't know, like real out there mystical. But even if you go back and look at Dormammu's history, it's still kind of rooted in something that isn't that. It was just a dude that acquired a bunch of power, and that's why he's like that now. So it's like, well, not like a human, but like, you know, he's a being that acquired a bunch of power. But we're not getting these concepts like eternity, like that are outside of almost Lovecraftian, outside of the reality of your imagination type of thing, that interact with these Marvel characters. Because I feel like Marvel is just, I feel like sometimes they're afraid to go there. Like, oh, well, they won't get it, so let's not do that. But like, your viewers are smarter than that. I feel
like I was just going to add to what you were saying. I feel like I totally agree with you, especially with like the old people who were running it before. But since they have like a whole bunch of new people into phase 4 and bringing in the multiverse, I'm hoping they explore more of that like crazy magical stuff and like the stuff that we actually want, and not just easy to understand stuff for normies.
I think they have to now with Thor's new movie coming out, and then putting Gore the God Butcher in there. There's no way you can not put these type of stuff in there.
That's
Frog Thor. Frog Thor is supposed to be in it too.
Yeah, but you can wrap your head around a frog that has a Thor power. Like, it's just a frog that's super strong with lightning.
Because we know frogs.
Yeah, because we know frogs. Yeah, we know frogs. But if I told you right now, Rachel, if I told you right now to draw on a piece of paper eternity, you'd probably have a little more difficult time of drawing your concept in your head of what eternity is. Right?
I just do the eternity, like infinity loop.
Okay,
that's all I can think of.
Rachel, people have a tough time believing in Jesus.
So,
you want to describe to people something that's like the concept of something else?
I don't know.
And in comic books, that's what they are. They're the living concepts of things. So like when you see death, you know, that's just the living personification of what the idea of death is. And I think we'll get into that when like the Sandman comes out and stuff like that for DC, which will be dope.
Can't wait.
DC's gonna go for it. You know, they're gonna go for it with their stuff. I just feel like Marvel is not, like, they're scared or something.
Yeah.
But I want that. Like I want all that stuff.
I feel like you're gonna be eating those words.
I would love to.
I would
100% love to. I would have no problem. I would eat it with the biggest smile on my face, because that means they can finally do a bunch of storylines that they've been holding back for the longest. Like, I would love cosmic entities to be in everything. Like, they have their hands and stuff. Look, they just teased the Watchers and things. Uatu has not even shown up and stuff. But for somebody, no, they showed Watchers. They didn't show Uatu, because Uatu, one, lives on the moon. Two, who's supposed to be watching, gets involved in a lot of stuff. So they only teased, but they didn't even, and it was just a Easter egg, a dope one for Stan Lee and everything like that. But
they planted the seed that these things are in this universe.
How long ago was that?
No, it was a while ago, because Guardians, right? It was
Guardians 2.
It was Guardians 2. Okay.
I thought they were the Timekeepers originally, because I saw 3 weird looking dudes. I'm like, are those the Timekeepers?
It's just alien.
You can think the same. Yeah, it's the same.
They were dressed the same clothes, same collar.
The thing is, they are microdosing their audience with these little snippets.
Wow.
And they're like,
I love that phrase.
Here's a little bit, and then they're just gonna boom. You're off to the races, buddy. You're fucking seeing Shangri-La in the sky now. Here we go. This is what clouds are made of.
I really hope that's true. Like, I really hope that's they've been microdosing, we'll say, this whole time.
Yeah.
Well, they're having the movie Eternals, right? Like, that kind of goes into it, right?
Fit in.
The Eternals definitely touch on that stuff. Like, you can't, but I feel like they're going to explain it in a way to where it's like, oh, space scientists came down and did a whole bunch of stuff and did all this.
They're gonna microdose you again.
I'm telling you.
I'm not sure what made the Eternals. What was it?
The Celestials, yes.
Okay. So they've already teased Celestials, so we know about those beings.
But again, Celestials aren't concepts. They're just giant creatures, basically. Giant creatures. They're not eternity.
But what I'm saying is, like, it'll probably roll into, like, everything has something that made it, and they'll probably go into that history, because Eternals seems like they're going to touch on an evolution. Like, that's the theme of, that's what it seems like from the trailer. I could be just talking out of my ass, but it seems like they're going to be talking about an evolution of, you know, humankind. So they'll probably touch on their origin of, like, what the Eternals even are and what made them and what's beyond that or before that. I feel like they will touch on it, maybe again in small doses, but I think you're going to get more. And sooner or later, we're going to get a goddamn cosmic Ghost Rider flying across your screen, shooting people in the face.
I wish, but I don't think they're even doing that. Cosmic Ghost Rider. They're not going there. They'll go. I can see a Ghost Rider for sure. But
and if you do Ghost Rider, you got to do demons. And if you do demons,
you're 100% true. Who?
Spawn.
That's
Spawn.
Is that Image?
That's not even.
It's also, it crosses over with Marvel too, because was it Angela? She started off at Image, the Image comics. Like, she's like an angel bounty hunter, but she's also like crossed over into Marvel, and she's actually Thor and Loki's older sister.
Is she of
She's the one with the red hair, and she has like a gold bikini and like a gold mask.
Is she Norse mythology? Is she in Norse mythology?
Because if she's in Norse mythology,
she might just be in.
I don't think
it might just be a thing where they can use her.
Public domain type stuff.
Yeah, because that's why I can make a Thor comic book right now and never get sued, because it's just public
she crosses
domain.
over into the Marvel comics though, because she's in oh my god, I forget what storyline it is, but it is actually like her first appearance in Marvel Comics was like 2013. And she came out, I think, in the 90s and Image Comics. So she started out there, but she is in Marvel as well.
And then they always have like those what is it?
I know MCU replaced her with Hel, because Hel is Loki's daughter in the comics as well as like Norse mythology, but they made her the older sister in MCU. So I don't think they'll have Angela. If they do, she'll be like separate from Thor and Loki.
And see, like, it's stuff like that they change, because like in the comic book, she's just his daughter. So it's like, it's stuff like that Marvel changes that makes me think they just won't go all the way on certain concepts in the thing, just because they're like, well, I think it's best for viewers this way. But you know, nonetheless, you know, because we spent almost a whole hour on the full Loki show.
Jeez.
It was actually a good episode, though, so it's kind of worth it. Like, it kind of felt a little bit fillerish, but it was way more entertaining than the last two episodes.
I mean, the final episode will air next week, and all our answers will be answered, finally. And that's it for the Loki show. We got Black Widow that just came out today.
So, Rachel, your thoughts?
We have, did anybody watch it? No?
Your thoughts?
No, we haven't seen it. I was waiting to see it so I could see it with you guys.
That was the homework.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Wow. I thought the marketing was kind of cool, because then it like highlights all the movies that she's in, and kind of like brings attention if anybody wants to like see like everything the character Black Widow's been in. They could binge watch it real quick and then go back and watch Black Widow. And I heard only really good things about the movie. The only bad thing I heard, it was just a little too late.
So it's out on Disney Plus, because I just checked it out, but it's $30 bucks. Yeah, it's $30 there. Where you guys planning on?
I was gonna say, if we have a view party at somebody's house, we could just pay $30 all together instead of paying $15 each for a movie ticket.
That's very true. That's very true. But that's why I was like, do you guys care if to see it in the theaters, or what is your preferred method of viewing things?
I'm okay with either.
I mean, I'm vaccinated, so
I'm vaccinated, and I'll wear a mask.
I have no problem wearing a mask. Yeah, so I can go either or. If we did a viewing party, I would just, I mean, you gotta have snacks.
Oh, hell yeah!
That's all it is.
Well, I'm anti-vax. I don't know what's in that stuff. I'm not taking any of
Oh
that.
my God, do not. You liar. I'm sorry, guys. He's a liar. He has the vaccine. He's good.
There's more bad stuff in your barbecue sauce you use to eat your chicken nuggets than in that fucking vaccine. So
actually, no, not the one that I eat. Remember that.
That's true. You eat pretty healthy now.
Yes, I look on the back of everything that I put in my body, sir. Nothing but juices and berries.
Yeah, but do you know what it actually is? They're just putting names on there.
I mean, you can never know 100% with anybody. Yes.
Yeah, I think you know what water is, and even water has been contaminated. Just ask Flint, Michigan.
Oh my God.
They don't have water there. It's not water. It's just liquids. That's what it is.
It's sludge.
But yeah, no, we'll have to figure that out. How we're gonna watch
it's Q-Aron.
Terrible.
That's what it is.
Terrible, man.
And then what's after that? We got the trailer for What If that came out. That looks pretty dope. Can't wait for that one.
That looked amazing.
I mean, what?
Steven
to me, it's just,
that.
dude. It's just a tease. Like, I'm excited for. I think it's gonna be great, but I feel like it's just gonna be like, that's all you get.
Well, yeah, it is gonna be what you get.
And I don't want that. Like, I want all of it. I want it all to be a series.
We get Tony Stark being saved by Killmonger instead of becoming Iron Man right off the bat.
Cool concepts. I mean, but wouldn't you want to know more? They're
probably going to show more. They probably will show more of that.
Because it's going to be a multiverse of madness.
Wow.
Steven, what if they do they have they're all little shorts, right? They're not nothing really more. What if they make it like a series, almost like a Love, Death, and Robots, where they just do a whole bunch of a series, one season after another of just different shorts of What If series.
And that's probably why I didn't get into that show, really, because I would want more of whatever I'm watching. I feel like.
But tell me I'm wrong. If we got more of, was it the Zombie Marvel one? Because they're gonna have that in What If. If we got more of that, it would turn out just as quote unquote good as the Resident Evil movies. That's how it turned out.
You don't know that because this whole thing, this What If, you don't know.
You're just gonna glaze over the fact that she said just as good as the Resident
Evil. I said quote unquote good.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the quote unquote. I was about to say.
That was sarcasm.
I was looking at notes on something, so I didn't see the quote unquote. No, I just heard, and I was like, "What is this?"
They're terrible movies, guys. They're absolute garbage.
Movies.
Look, I understand, but with the comic book thing, if you follow that formula, it has an ending, correct?
Yeah.
The comic books.
Yeah.
There's the.
But no one's gonna have faith in it though. So I'd rather have at least a little something right now, and then maybe eventually, if there's enough interest, them to make a movie, than them trying to make a movie off the bat, and then well, there's probably not gonna be a lot of interest in it. Let's just give it to some rando director who doesn't have a lot of experience, and it just come out poorly.
You know what? You're right.
Crowdfund it.
I get that. But to me, it's like a demo disc.
Yeah.
On an old PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Fucking great. The games on there are fun to play. You can probably spend your time watching one specific episode. Maybe it's T'Challa as Star-Lord. Dope. Yeah. But you're still gonna want more from that. Me especially. I'm gonna want to eventually buy into that series. Or invest more time, but I'm not going to be able to. That breaks my heart.
Chadwick isn't around anymore. Of course, you're not going to get more T'Challa Star-Lord.
You're going to just
use his last role.
Use that as an example.
What if they do a thing where they show you all this stuff, and in Multiverse of Madness, they revisit a lot of those places?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great because then I'm getting the investment of being able to experience them more,
because I don't know if they've actually stated that this is not a part of the MCU. They just threw it out there and said, let it be what it is, well,
I feel like it's part of the MCU. It's just little snippets of all the different universes that the madness of multiverse is going to go into.
I'm hyped for it.
It's a demo disc of it, yeah.
I liked the fact that it looks like they're going to have intertwining stories by the end of the whole thing, because they showed the same panning shot of like the Avengers, but then they flipped it and was like, this is the new team that came. So you had like Black Panther, you had Gamora, you had Star-Lord as T'Challa, and you had like a Thor, and they looked like they were about to protect whatever broken down city that they were, in or whatever. So I'm like, this is pretty cool. We're gonna see some new stuff. It's dope. The only concern I would have for it is the length of the episodes. I don't want Love, Love, Sex, and Robot 2 minute, 3 minute, or maybe some are 5, some are 10, some are 2. I want good lengthy episodes. Like, I want each episode to be an hour a piece.
That's not a short, my dude. That's not a short.
It might be if it's supposed to be a season-long show like these other ones. You know what I mean? It could be an hour long of this world. Which here's my like hope for this. I hope these come out right, and they do these 30-minute hour episodes of these shows. I hope Disney and Marvel fucking think about it and actually use these animations and start their animation movie things that come out on Disney Plus using these universes.
Only if they hire all the animators from DC. That's it.
I'm 100% fine with that. I'm 100% fine with that. Like, this is a good way to start that animation domination of the comic book movies, superhero movies, shows. Like, this is how you transition. Take what you're making with these, because it all looks great. The stories are intriguing and eye-catchy. Now just put it in your animation verse. Connect it to the MCU somehow if you wanted to, using the multiverse. But just do something with it. Don't just leave it as this one season thing and it's cool, but you don't build on it. I don't know. I want more like creativity with these things that they're making. I want to see it develop. I want more of it. Even if they have to replace Chadwick Boseman's voice actor. Unfortunately, rest in peace, King. You know what I mean? Like, it's what I want. But am I going to get that? We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I mean, is there any more Marvel news to wrap out the whole thing? Make this a 100% Marvel episode?
Again?
I mean, again,
Oh, man. Is there anything else?
No, not that I can see.
I mean, not Marvel news, but Witcher 2 trailer came out. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, Witcher 2 trailer. Oh wow, okay. And then we're kind of all over the place when it comes to other new things that came out, like the Fear Street. I saw part 1. Rachel's seen part 1 and 2. Steven has seen nothing. So
I've heard us go crazy about it in chat.
So
I've been watching 7 Deadly Sins, the anime on Netflix.
Oh my goodness.
That's
but Aaron,
I'm behind.
Without spoilers, because we don't want to spoil it for little Steven over here who hasn't seen it yet.
First of all, it's average, Steven. Thank you.
Wow.
How would you rate it? How would you rate, was it 1994? Fear Street 1994, 1 out of 10?
I'd give it a 6. Solid 6.
Yeah.
Because
I would say 6.5.
The first I want to say 70% of the movie I really loved. And then the last end of it kind of let me down with certain choices that they made. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Like the final act kind of let me down. And this isn't a spoiler. It's a trilogy, people. So it's going to be 3 movies that are all connected. It's a trilogy. So I forgot about that going into it. And then the end, of course, is going to set you up for, part 2, which I'm guessing part 2 will end up setting you up for part 3, blah, blah, blah.
So
but,
I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I just finished the second part, 1978. And I'm just going to say, after watching that, it makes me want to like change the rating for 1994 to like a solid 7. Because
really? Higher?
Yeah, it does. I feel like just because like it alone, I feel like isn't good, but them together makes it better. And 1978 was very good. I give it like a solid 8 at least.
So there's
they definitely do set it up for the third one, which made me like freak out. The ending of it, chef's kiss.
Of 77 or
1666, that's part 3, and it comes out on the 16th. So Steven, if you catch up, we could all watch it together.
See, I'm debating whether I should just watch all 3 back to back.
You're not gonna sit through 3 movies back to back to back like that, because they're full length movies, bro.
Yeah, I've watched fucking that waste of time Justice League movie. That was 4
I thought you were gonna say a different trilogy that you binge watched.
No, I can't tolerate that much stupid at one time.
How dare you? Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece.
Who said anything about that? I thought
you were talking about Harry Potter.
Oh, no, that's more than a trilogy. So there's 8
like
movies.
There's a bunch of those movies.
That is too much stupid at once. Harry Potter, yeah.
But they're like, you went to sleep during during the Batman or the Justice League movie. Like,
no, I watched it all.
This I know, but you didn't like.
Oh, you know what? No, yeah. I did doze off, but I had to rewind it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
So you just watch. I mean, by the time you finish the last 2 movies, the third one will be out, and you can just watch the third one too.
I'll probably watch them this weekend. So
there's a comic book that I have been wanting them to turn into a TV series for the longest.
Sweet Tooth?
That was good Lord, no. That has given me the same vibes as this, and it's called Nail Biter.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Nail Biter is a comic book. Basically, it's this town that has the most serial killers ever. Like, there's a bunch of serial killers that are always born in this town, and they all have like themes and stuff like that. So they kind of go through some of their histories, but like this private investigator or this investigator, he goes missing, and his friend comes by, or his friend goes there to kind of find him. And he has to work with this serial killer named went by the Nail Biter, to help find his old friend. And then you kind of like the town is famous for producing the most serial killers ever, but it's a really good mystery. The ending, like, I read every single issue of this thing. The ending was like so satisfying. Like, it was just, it's a great Image comic, and I have no idea why nobody has ever picked it up to do a TV series for this, because I feel like it would be one of those AMC TV series that rivals on like The Walking Dead. Like, people would get that invested in the characters that are in there. And my only thing, and I said this years ago, the only problem, the main character, the guy who plays Nail Biter, the actor that does that, would have to be a very good actor, because it's like Hannibal, right? You watched Hannibal with Emma, right?
Yes, except for the last season.
But okay, so it's good enough though. You know the whole time Hannibal is a killer, right?
Yeah.
But but he's a very sophisticated, suave type of person, right? That you can see people liking, basically. Yeah. Right? That's how this Nail Biter character is. He is just like that, but less with the like
eating
intelligent people? Well, no, he that's how they find his victims. He's biting on their nails until it's like raw and bloody and stuff like that. So, but like, he's got like this country charm. Like, Dexter? Oh my gosh, no, like all right guy.
Matthew McConaughey?
He's like Matthew McConaughey. Like,
but if he was a serial killer?
If Matthew McConaughey was a serial killer,
I mean, oh my God,
that would
I would
be
love to see that.
Like, you it's a very good story.
Yeah, warm out today. Oh,
so like,
good time to buy some nails.
And I just saw that they plan on releasing a sequel to it. In 2020, they actually announced it.
Called Nail Biters.
Terrible. I'm gonna have to go back and read that and see if that's any good. But yeah, but that's what Fear Street was giving me the vibes of that. Like it was really giving me the vibes of that. So I'm interested to see part 2 though. Yeah.
Yeah. It gives me like a lot of nostalgia because I read like Goosebumps. I read the R.L. Stein books as a kid, and it almost kind of gives me oh my god, yeah, just like a more like mature, I guess not necessarily like sophisticated, but like a grown up version of Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps type of vibes. Like at least like the aesthetic, which makes sense.
Yeah,
it's R.L. Stein.
I never got to read any of those as a kid. And to let everybody know, like it is, I mean, it's a graphic movie. Like they don't pull any punches when it comes to the kills that they do.
Boy, 1978 or is it 78? Yeah, 78. Holy shit, way more graphic.
Really? Oh, okay.
That's why I texted. I was like, oh my god. I was just, I freaked out for a sec.
Because I just, since it was like Fear Street, I always just thought it was still like kind of aimed towards children, like the Goosebumps movie.
Well, there's
it's more like it, because the way what you're describing.
No, I was saying
like I'm in like gore value, like in scariness.
Oh, and scariness and gore.
Yeah,
Think Friday the 13th slasher.
Yeah, it's very slasher.
Yeah, it's slasher.
But it's very
slasher.
Graphic at the same time. Like they show a lot.
A lot of hot teens and the going to camp.
You mean how to halt adults in the first one?
Yeah, well, yes.
It is actually kids in 1978, which I feel like makes it a lot more shocking because,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like kids. I'm not gonna, before I say this, but I find it
I want to say Emma would love this movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
I find it very satisfying sometimes when they actually kill the kids in these movies when they make stupid mistakes. Exactly, because then no one's safe. No one is freaking safe. One of my favorite scenes in Ash versus the Evil Dead or whatever, the TV series, is when
and you see that.
That's good.
There's not a spoiler, but like he's fighting deadites in like this restaurant, and there's this kid that's like scared behind the counter, and he's like, "Stay there, kid," and the kid is scared, understandable, and kid's like, I'm just gonna book it. And this is like literally like maybe a 8-year-old kid. So he tries to book it when he clearly was told, stay there. And that freaking deadite grabs him and like puts his head in the freaking the ceiling fan and cuts it all up. And I was like, if you had just stayed put, kid, you wouldn't have been dead. And now you're dead. So there it is.
Gruesome.
But that's where we're going to end the show off on child murder.
Great.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thanks. Thank you for enjoying our family-friendly show.
Very family-friendly.
Everybody.
Everyone dies.
I got a lot of comic books to read because apparently there are 10 issues of that, and it just ended in February of the Nail Biter, which I'm happy about. So
Nail Biters.
Check it out.
It's called Nail Biter Returns, and I was reading on the wiki. It starts one day right after the end of the last one. So I like that it's a continuation and not just, here's a side story that you didn't see going on the whole time that everything was happening. Like, no, that story, it has a beginning, middle, end. I love it. Wrap it up in a package, ship it out. What else you got for me? That's good. All right. So, Rachel, is there anything you want to say before we log off?
I finally got the RAM installed on my computer so it actually could run games properly.
Nice.
So maybe when we do multi-streams or when we stream together, I can actually multi-stream with you.
Nice.
Cool.
That'll be dope.
And we just gotta get Steven to start streaming with us.
I just gotta learn OBS.
It's not that hard.
Actually, I gotta get a graphics card.
Oh yeah, you need that graphics card.
yeah, you're on like a handy down, broken, janky.
Yeah.
Right over there. It's like duct taped together.
Jerry's leftovers, basically. What do you want to say before we log off, Steven?
Nothing now because I'm depressed. So
well, there you go.
Close the whole show.
Wait, no, Steven, it's okay. Don't be depressed. We still have the Broodmother to fight in Grounded. The giant spider, your favorite.
Oh no, that bitch is going down. No, yeah.
I have a strategy. We got this.
She's going down.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to check us out on twitch.tv/before you log off, where you can see us fight the Broodmother and play actually a whole bunch of other co-op games, though. So for the internationally known Steven Gutierrez and Toughest Stones Rachel, I am Sir Aaron Carter saying that's enough Marvel for today.